Hey everyone. Well, we are officially in week 7 this week. Today is Monday, February 24th. So week 7 ends on Monday, March 3rd. And then week 8 is a short week because Friday, March 7th is the last day of our fast track class. So you are nearing the finish line. You're almost there. So great job for all that you've managed to do so far. I know a fast track class can be tough keeping up with all of the assignments because it's all packed into this 8-week format. But you're all doing great, and I'm very proud of you that you've made it this far. So let's take a look at week 7. We are still working on essay 3. That is your main focus this week. I would also like for you to read this essay called Against School by John Taylor Gatto. There's a little bit of information about him here. You can download the PDF by clicking this little arrow button, or if you click this, it will bring it up for you here in the screen. So this was originally an essay that was published in Harper's Magazine in, I think, 2003. And so in this essay, he is arguing against public education. So this is an argumentative, a persuasive essay. So again, we're reading an example of a type of essay that you are essentially writing. So after you read that, please write a short paragraph of approximately 8 to 10 sentences. You're going to follow these bullet points. Tell me about this article in your own words. What is Gatto's main argument? What type of evidence does he use to support his points? What stood out to you the most? What connections did you make to your own experiences or prior knowledge while reading this? And what do you agree or disagree with? You can add any other thoughts, comments, questions, etc. as well, but those are just some basic questions and points for you to focus on. So please type this and submit your paragraph to this assignment. This is due Friday, February 28th. And going back to the week 7 page, we also have the outline for essay 3, your last essay, the persuasive essay due. So this is structured very similarly to the expository essay. There are some guidelines here which are very, very similar to the expository essay guidelines, except there's a little bit more about, counter arguments and having your argument in mind, the types of things that you should be including. Your thesis statement is going to be a little bit different, right? Instead of just with an intention of explaining and informing, your intention is to persuade. But essentially, it's the same sort of structure. Then I've also included a link to a Google Doc here where you can make a copy of this persuasive essay outline. It is, again, very similar to the expository essay outline. So you can use that, or you can use your own format for outline. Please complete this and upload that by Friday as well. Okay, and then by Monday, March 3rd, we have a couple final readings and annotations or notes due. This one is about the research process. So some specific information about integrating sources, plagiarism, and MLA format. If MLA format, if you feel really strong in your skills with that, you can kind of just skim over that and maybe make a couple notes about the most important points. I'm not expecting detailed notes for that, especially for all of you. There's also this counter arguments page. There are 3 parts to this assignment. Please read this information here. Look at the Graham's hierarchy of disagreement. I really love this image and this whole concept of this hierarchy of disagreement because it really highlights what an effective counterargument is. Oftentimes, when we are engaged in an argument ourselves, or when we're witnessing an argument, or even in social media posts and the comments, you will often see people committing logical fallacies and using these kind of bottom four um, types of disagreement, which are really not effective and not as intelligent as the top three, right? So we'll often see people name calling, or you are addressing, attacking the person rather than the argument. That's the ad hominem. Or there's a criticizing of the tone of what the person is saying rather than the argument itself, or maybe just a contradiction without actually providing any evidence to the contrary. So this is a great resource here. Part two is for you to read these 5 articles about counter arguments. So please take notes or annotate those. And then part three is to watch this slideshow and take notes. So for all of this, you're going to be annotating or taking notes and then uploading your annotations or notes to this assignment. That is due Monday, as well as the annotations or notes for the other articles here. In addition, everything is kind of crammed in here, so I would recommend that you start working on these things right this week. Don't wait until Friday to get it done. Your rough draft of Essay 3 is due Monday, March 3rd, as well as your tutoring. Now, let's go forward and look at week 8. So essentially the only thing that you have to do, I need to link it here, but you only need to be focused on your on your final draft of the persuasive essay for this final week of class, which is due Friday, March 7th before midnight. That said, if you still are waiting on tutoring, you're still waiting on your rough draft, it would be okay for you to submit your rough draft and tutoring at some point during this next week, like between Monday and Thursday, and then you submit your rough draft or your final draft on Friday. So I'm not going to deduct any points if you submit your rough draft or the tutoring at some point between March 3rd and March 7th, if that makes sense. So, but I just had to kind of pack it all in there. I didn't want to, make things due another random day. So just know that I won't be deducting any points if you submit things a little bit later than is outlined here. I probably will not be making a video like this next week just because there's only one thing due and I've explained pretty much all of it here. I guess the only other things I would say is that any extra credit that you want to complete, that all needs to be turned in by Friday, March 7th as well. And on midnight, at midnight on Friday, March 7th, this class will be closed. So you will not be able to submit anything here any longer. The class will also no longer appear in your dashboard. And so in order to access this class, you're going to need to go up here to all courses and find the class listed there. That is how you'll be able to view your grades and view assignment directions and things like that. That said, if you're, working on your final draft and it's past midnight and you still want to be able to submit it, I will accept emailed final drafts, through Saturday pretty much. So if you need that extra time, that extra day to finish your final draft, you can email me your essay as an attachment in a doc or PDF form, and then I will upload it to turn it in on my end. But reach out to me if you're struggling, if you're having any issues, if you have any questions, I'm happy to help. I am also having office hours tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. So feel free to jump on at that point and talk to me about the essay or anything else that you have questions or concerns about for the class. Other than that, I think this will probably be my last video. So I wish you all the very best. Thank you for taking this class. I hope that you have a great rest of your semester, and I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. All right, I'll talk to you all later. Bye bye.